Well, there may be no Merry Christmas said, but when it comes to Kendrick Bourne and Matt Patricia, or Mac Jones and Matt Patricia, that is Kendrick Bourne, a critique, essentially, of the of the time that Mac Jones had, which is not a lot, and of the play calling, essentially.
Throwing your lineman under the bus, huh?
Well, I mean, that's what happens, Wiggy, right?
No.
When things turn bad, everybody starts pointing fingers in different directions.
That just goes to. I mean, maybe that is part on Bill, the problem, because that's something that you don't do. Like, that's something that we never did. Never in any of the Super Bowl runs, teams I've been on, where you go out there and you criticize your teammates publicly. Well, we don't have time because of the O-line. You think the O-linemen are probably like, well, how about you get your ass open, MFer?
Yeah.
Learn how to run a route and create some separation. We ain't got all day.
It plays completely into it, though, that Kendrick Bourne is in that camp with Mac Jones. There is a group of people on this team that are just going against the grain every day.
When I hear that, you know what that tells me? That locker room is like divided.
Mm-hmm.
You got the conservatives and the liberals. That thing is divided and right down the middle. I don't care what anybody says. When I hear guys like that, I'm telling you that they all look at each other sideways.
And the more that I hear from Kendrick Bourne, the more I go back to that photo of him in a Drew Brees jersey coming into the game when Bailey Zappi was starting, and I am convinced that he did it on purpose. Those two are thick as thieves. They've got a group that all supports each other, and that's great. I would like to have a support if I'm Mac Jones, but the fact that he's doing it publicly and talking to media members, I mean, this is a real issue for the team.
And what's more likely to happen?
Whoa. Shime, I'm looking at the text line. Did you not play the Bourne audio on the air?
No, I did. I believe at some point somewhere we were dead for a minute or something. I'm currently communicating with the engineer, figure out what was going on.
What do you mean?
It was nothing we did. It was the whole signal on 93.7 went down for a minute or two.
So wait,
That's good, right?
So some didn't hear it. We need to play the audio.
Yeah.
Would you like me to replay it?
Yeah. Could you please get the Bourne audio again?
We got to get the ball downfield, so I think Mac needs more time. He's obviously running around, so it's hard to get the ball downfield when you can't really have time for him to throw. No knock to the line, it's just what we need to work on. The receivers can't do nothing if the ball can't get downfield. If we can't throw it past 5 yards, it's just going to be a long game.
Boy, I tell you, Bill better get a hold of his locker room, because that's something that you just don't do right there. Like, I've never been around a team, especially a Patriots team, but even just teams in general, when you got guys saying, that play a different position, you don't think that you don't think Trent Brown's like, man, get your ass open. I'm going to cut the guy. Can only cut him for, a half a second. Get open. Make a play. What if the linemen started doing stuff like that? This team is divided down.
Wait, who's on the side of Patricia?
No. He's calling out his O-line.
No, he's calling out the offense. He's calling out.
Did you not hear him say that Mac needs more time?
I did hear him say that.
So who do you think he's talking to?
The question was about what Max said about getting balls down the field.
Right, but who do you think?
If we only throw 5 yards, it's going to be a long day.
No, but when somebody says he needs more time, he's running around out there. Who do you think he's talking to?
The O-line.
Exactly.
I hear that as an offense that is exasperated at the absence of leadership and scheme that helps them win games.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I don't know what you listen to, because if you hear that,
I was listening to 93.7, so I didn't hear
Mac is good enough, but he doesn't have the time to show us what he's got. That's what he's saying.
And so who is he talking about?
Right.
He's talking about the 5 guys that are protecting him, or the tight end, whoever's.
They are thick as thieves with David Andrews. They are all really good friends.
But he might not be ripping David Andrews. He might be ripping Trent Brown. When you, Curtis,
the whole offensive line was out. It wasn't like they wanted to suck. I mean,
Curtis,
they were on their third line, left tackle.
Listen to me. If somebody asked me on an interview and said, hey, what is it about the show that isn't working? And if I said, well, you know what? Our producers don't do a good enough job of exactly. Yeah, he might be mad at Matt Patricia about play calling, but when you start to say he doesn't have time and he's running around out there, you're simply if an old lineman would have said, hey, we're giving our quarterback a ton of time to throw the ball. Why can't they get open?
You're right. maybe it's just Patricia, but they lost. Has Bill lost that locker room?
Oh,
Who's the offensive line coach?
It's Matt Patricia.
Right.
Oh, interesting. And he's also the one calling the plays that they hate?
Right.
Oh, maybe he's mad at the offensive line coach, who also happens to be the one in charge of scheming up the plays that are all failing.
Right, but you don't go out there publicly and criticize a position group.
I mean, even Mac, because he's honestly probably a good guy, whatever, tried to walk it back a little bit on the F-bomb moment when he said, we need to throw the effing ball because the run game sucks.
And some people are saying he said the quick game, not the run game. I don't know.
He tried to walk it back a little bit, but he really didn't.
Obviously, just kind of let my emotions get to me, but, we're kind of playing from behind, and what I said was about throwing it deeper in the short game. I got to execute that part better, but it's the short game that we kept going to, which was working, but I felt like we needed chunk plays, and, I shouted that out to kind of get everyone going, and that's emotional. That's football. I'm passionate about this game, and obviously you don't want to get your emotions get the best of you. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
I would say more than the loss, what Mac did on the sideline graded Bill the most. I mean, can you imagine? This is all about the people that Bill Belichick entrusted with the offense, and the quarterback that he thought was a Saban well-oiled machine clone of the Belichick world that was going to say, yes, sir, okay, sir, may I have another, sir? And he's on the sideline throwing a hissy fit because the offensive coordinator is a gigantic asshat.
And he doesn't say what you want about Mac Jones and what he's going to be. I don't think, unfortunately, this season doesn't get us anywhere closer to figuring out what he can or cannot be.
He's not Josh Allen, and he never will be.
Okay. But say what you want about him, he doesn't stand a chance with what they did around him.
Yeah, he was screwed from the moment that they got rid of McDaniels.
So
let
what is
McDaniels go.
And the O-line and the whole entire thing, it's been a cluster F. He doesn't stand a chance.
So what's that tell you? You got to look at it a bigger picture. It tells you that he's only going to be good as if you put the perfect situation around him. If you give him elite of the elite, give him a great offensive line, give him a great running game, that's the only way it seems like he'll be good. And we don't even know then how good he'll be if you do all those things.
But Wiggy, Bill Belichick told me that all they needed was a top 15 quarterback, and it's just plug and play.
But he ain't a top 15 quarterback.
It's if you need to build up your quarterback with all those other things, then you've changed the entire methodology of how they've won their games here.
Right. He's not a top 15 quarterback.
He doesn't elevate people.
No.
And the coaches don't elevate the talent because they can't scheme worth a crap. And this is all the doing of Bill Belichick because he didn't want any threatening position of anybody when his entire plan has been devised by always making even Brady, even Lawyer Malloy, even Jermaine Wiggins feel like their job was on the line. But Bill, the almighty Bill, is the highest paid coach in all of professional sports and can never have anybody breathing down my neck. Hypocrisy, your name is Belichick.
And maybe it wasn't Bill. Maybe it wasn't Bill. As we start to kind of peel this back, and I think maybe Ken Laird might have been on this a while ago. Maybe Kraft said, you need to draft a quarterback. And Bill goes, I don't want to. Mm-hmm. And Kraft goes, you need to. Mm-hmm. Right? And so maybe Bill was forced into drafting a quarterback, and he ends up with this guy, and now he's stuck with him, and he's starting to say, Robert, you see, I told you I didn't want a quarterback.
Okay, what was Bill's plan? He was going to go with Hoyer?
Maybe he wanted to move up to get Micah Parsons.
Yeah, who was going to be his quarterback?
And then I don't know.
Maybe he wanted to trade back and get Cole Strange. That worked out.
I don't know. Maybe he feels like, okay, we could have went a different route to get a quarterback. I don't know who that is, but maybe he didn't want to draft.
Well, he went into that camp with Cam Newton and Mac Jones. So
right, but he had no choice because he drafted Mac at 15. Maybe he was thinking something else.
This is Billy from Woburn. What's up, Billy?
Yeah, good morning.
Hey.
Listen, I'm sick of you guys talking about Brady coming back, Bobby Orr's not coming back. Kyle Yastrzemski's not coming back. Brady's not coming back. Let's move on.
Yeah, no, I don't. Whatever. I don't. We haven't.
There's a
touched
chance.
that-
Why is Billy poo-pooing that?
I don't
I
know.
haven't even mentioned him in like an hour.
That came up once when I said blow for Brady.
Oh,
Larry
right.
Bird's not walking through that door.
I mean, honestly,
But
why,
there's a
why
real-
wouldn't you at this point blow for Brady?
You don't have to tell me twice.
But there's a realistic chance.
You've been doing that for years on this program.
Yep. Just like I began the show under your desk a couple days ago.
All right. A disaster last night. It was fun while it lasted this NFL season.
Was it?